My boyfriend is spending a lot of time with my sons but shunning my daughter. Hello, I'm new to the subreddit, so sorry if I miss anything out. My boyfriend and I are in our late 40s and we live in the south of England. I have 3 children, 12 meters, 9F and 7 meters, and he has one 17F. His daughter lives primarily with her mother in Scotland and I have not met her yet, although I have recently introduced him to my kids. He seems to care about impressing them and is interested in going on a family glamping trip this August. However, while at first they all seemed to get along, he now seems to cater his time to my sons. He'll play video games with my older son and shoot water pistols with my younger son, but whenever my daughter wants to join in, she is shunned away and he only seems to interact with her at meal times. He has expressed to me that he is excited to finally have sons after only having one daughter, but I can tell that my little girl feels left out. How can I go about encouraging him to include her? Is it my place to do that, as the boys have had no other male role models growing up? Tell him daughter is feeling shunned and should be included better. Yeah, you need to set a boundary here, stating that while it's great that he feels as though he finally has sons, your daughter is also a package deal and shouldn't be excluded. She doesn't want to participate in activities with them, fine. But when she does, she should feel welcomed to do so. Your daughter shouldn't be made to feel unwelcomed and isolated just because she's a girl and not one of his new sons that he finally has. I think it's fine that he spends time with your sons, but you need to let him know that the 4 of you are a package deal. Encourage him to start off with small blocks of time with your daughter. Don't let this slide. Otherwise your daughter will see that he has a relationship with you, a relationship with your sons, and she is left out in the cold. There's a good chance that will mess her up down the line. Don't sit by and let that happen. For the sake of your daughter, whose position I have been in a very similar matter, you need to talk to this man and be very clear and firm with him. If you see any type of future with this man, you owe it to your daughter to ensure that this potential father figure in her life doesn't immediately show her that she's not as good as her brothers. Honestly, what do you expect your young daughter to glean from this situation except for resentment for all parties involved? Please make sure this is addressed and she feels just as loved as everyone else. Thank you. Yesterday we made little fairy cakes to cheer her up, and I'm going to arrange a family activity for when he comes round next to ensure she is included. After that, I'll have to have a conversation with him about it and not let him ignore the point this time. Make him sit down and listen. Just be a broken record. When he goes on about the boys, get back on track about your daughter. To be fair, he may just be less comfortable with her, or even be reminded of his daughter and feel sad/guilty/ etc. that he doesn't have as much time with her. So be open and prepared to work through something along those lines too. Husband blames our financial problems on me. I, F/30, grew up in low-income housing. When I was 13, my dad got deported, leaving myself and my sister being supported just by my mom. We lived off of food stamps as well until I got my first job at 16 and I was able to help out with money. I was never financially well off, but there was always something to eat. I had a place to rest and I was able to attend school. I live in the US. Parents are from Mexico. Lived with my mom until I was 28. If I live with her while she is in housing, she can keep the place. I stayed with her a long time because she didn't want to be alone and everyone pressured me to stay. Got married at 29, and moved out with my husband, M/31, who knew my financial situation before we got married. Fast forward to a year and a half, my husband has told me many times, "You like to be poor and broke." I don't. You always make less money than I do. I'm always supporting us. If you had a career, we would be making more money and not struggling financially because of you not making enough money. You're 30 years old and you have nothing. I want to change that. I have been wanting to change that. Yet when he says stuff like that, Yes, it hurts, but it also helps me reflect on myself to want to break that cycle. I don't know what to feel. Edit, I have had work as a line cook for almost 2 years when we got married. When the pandemic started, I started doing DoorDash and Instacart, plus working PT at a prepped foods grocery store. Since July 2020, that is what I have mostly been doing. DoorDash and Instacart. I personally prefer DoorDash or Instacart because the money is good and it's definitely a different work because I don't like being behind the desk. But I don't want to be a food courier forever. Edit 2, I really appreciate all of your feedback. I would like to clarify, he has sat down with me and talked with me and said, babe, I want you to get better and I'm here to help you get better. He has set up courses for me to take, encourages me to study, and to sit down with myself and to reflect on how to become a better person. But in some ways, when he's stressed, he tends to pick on little things. He sees it as trying to help me, and I see it as picking. There's a lot of self-reflection that I need to do on my behalf. Edit 3, I graduated high school, got my diploma, went to school on and off for art major / sociology major, decided to just work in the field I'm interested in, customer service / restaurants, to gain experience, work. I would like to go back to school and or become a real estate agent. Unfortunately, my circumstances are always changing. I feel he is a raw deal and is putting you down. You need to reflect on yourself in regards to being independent and not staying with someone who will only continue to downgrade you. It's almost like he didn't voluntarily enter into a legal relationship with you despite knowing your financial and career situation. For your own sake, you should do whatever you can do to better yourself. But him using this against you is done to maintain a power dynamic, and you don't have to put up with it. Why in the ever-loving hell are you married to a jackass who thinks it in any way appropriate to talk down to you like that? You like being poor, are friggin' serious? Question mark. What do you do for a living if you don't mind me asking? You can just name the industry in general, e.a. hospitality, patient care, finance. But on to the main point, him saying it like that. You're 30 and have nothing? Sounds exactly the way my abusive ex would talk to, and about, me. I was indeed 24 and I didn't have a college degree yet. I didn't have the kinds of opportunities and support he did. Now I know literally nothing about you and your relationship with each other, but if he is continuously putting you down like that, he is not being a good partner. There's a difference between, hey babe, I see you really like working with food, but have you ever thought about a restaurant management degree? Hey, let's talk seriously about what it would take to get you going in the nursing field. And you're a leech and have nothing to offer. The latter is what he is implying when he talks to you, and that is abusive in nature. It's the way to neg you and bring you down. When you start out from nothing, you have a harder time grabbing onto the ladder rungs of society and climbing up. You have a lot of financial baggage to unpack, and attitude etc. to unlearn or relearn. A good partner would encourage you to better yourself without belittling you. I'm seeing this, and I'm wondering what else is wrong. Skeptical. ETA, I took a minute because I was concerned, and read your post history. I don't want to overstep your boundaries at all, but if you ever want to talk and reach out to someone for help, I am always around and you can DM me. It looks like your situation is starting to deteriorate. I've been there, I know how it goes. I don't know what help I can be, but sometimes just having someone there to say you aren't crazy, and the situation is fucked up is help. My 23F little brother, 18 meters, is in a relationship with a girl, 22F, that bullied me for years and it makes me sick. I'll make it quick. We were classmates in high school, which was the hardest part of my life because of her. She bullied me for years. She used to make fun of me, sometimes hurt me physically, and the worst is she knew that I had a crush on a guy and she exposed in front of the whole class. He was my classmate too. It made fall into hard depression and anxiety. Well, now to my brother, he is the quite opposite of me. He is athletic, he is tall, handsome and is a football player. That means he is the popular kid in his school and popular with the girls, of course. And a few weeks ago he took his new girlfriend home, and that girl is the same girl that bullied me for years. When I saw her I almost broke down. Knowing that she is the girlfriend of my brother made me sick to my stomach. I love my little brother, we have a really good relationship, he is like my best friend, and to see him with this bitch makes me feel so sad, and it feels like I'm losing him to her. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how I feel. The worst part is that whenever they have sex I'm hearing it because his room is next door to mine. I once even had to throw up. I really don't know how to handle this, please I need advice. Tell your brother. He should know what type of person she is. Even if she bullied someone else instead of you. Not the point. She's a bully and he should know. Is he still in high school? If so, it says a great deal about her that she's dating teenagers instead of people her own age. That said, definitely tell him. He could be lining up to get hurt by her as well. Other than that, don't acknowledge her presence at all, if possible. Yes, he is still in high school. Dated many other girls older than him. I think he just likes older girls. I want to tell him, but I'm scared he thinks bad about me, like I'm a loser or whatsoever. It is a big insecurity that I have and I don't want to show him. Did you talk to him about what she did to you? It seems like that if you have a good relationship with him that it would be a big factor for him. If anything, it may give him an insight into the type of person she is. People hide their shitty behaviors early in a relationship. He may not know. No, I never talked with him about it because it makes me just feel insecure to even talk about that, and I don't want him to know that I was bullied. My brother would be disgusted by her and would never judge me for it either. You may be surprised. Any brother worth his salt would feel the same. Although he's shagging this horrible older girl, I suspect she's only temporary. If and when you tell him, ask that he doesn't discuss it with her, as she'll no doubt minimize how shitty she was, or say it was in the past, etc. All the usual excuses of bullies. Equally, he may even remember times when you were hurt or sad and put 2 plus 2 together. Maybe you could start off with, do you remember when I came home upset, with bruises, didn't want to go to school? And when he does, you can let him know the type of nasty cow he's dealing with. Did your parents not know it was her either? Did you speak to her? Sorry, you're dealing with this on your own. Bullying has lasting effects. Yeah, you right. I think he wouldn't judge me either. THX for the advice, this really helped me. This is the plot of the movie You Again. Maybe watch it and see if it gives you any insights on how to handle the situation. Fortunately, your brother is only 18, so it's highly unlikely this girl is here to stay.